Hello, good afternoon, students. This is Anish, your English teacher, and today I am going to teach you the next poem from our English class book, First Flight, that is the Ball poem. And hearing the name of the poem is very interesting. So the name of the title of the poem is the ball poem. You know what is a ball? We play with the ball, a cricket ball, a basketball, a volleyball. So here the poet has written a simple but interesting and very relevant poem to our life. He has used the poem metaphorically, or we can say symbolically, for comparing the important, precious moment or phases of our life. So, the name of the poet is John Berryman. You can see a slide on the screen, a short introduction of the poet John Berryman. He was an American poet and a scholar. He is best known for the Dream songs which he had written in 1969. And it was a sequence of 385 poems which he had written. He won many precious, valuable prizes. So, some of them are Pulitzer Prize. Pulitzer Prize is one of the most precious, you can say the highest prize in the field of literature. He won Pulitzer Prize as well as National Book Award. So, we are reading the poem written by a very renowned, famous, popular poet, that is John Berryman. It's a simple poem, but it has got a deep meaning. It has got a very relevant message for all of us. So now let's see the objective of the poem. So the objective is to make the students learn about the loss of something they love. Whatever you love or whatever one loves in life, if a person loses that thing, how bad or negative he feels. To make them learn to develop the ability to understand the difficult situations in their life. So one must also learn how to cope up the loss in life. The objective of the poem is also to help the students not to grieve but to experience new things over the loss of something. So, even if we have lost something, even if we are going through some bad phase of our life, we must not give up, we must not feel sad. Rather, we must experience, we must take it positively that this is the new phase of life. Then to help them cope with the problems of life. In life, all of us have got problem. Some have got small problem, some have got very big problem. Some people are afraid of the small problem, whereas other even face the major problem very courageously. So we must face the problem very courageously. Then to help the students and people use new words, new vocabulary in their own language. When we write a speech, a debate, an article, or any writing section, we must use the new words. So, keeping in this mind, let us continue the chapter. So, here we have got few keywords. Number one, harbor. Harbor is an area of water near the coast where ships are kept and are safe from the sea. So we have got many harbor in India also, like wherever the sea is there, West Bengal, Goa, Mumbai. Next word is dime. So a dime is 10 cents. It's a currency which runs in USA. Next is desperate. Desperate means hopeless. Example, this man looks desperate because of his personal worries. Next is epistemology of laws. Epistemology means, the meaning of epistemology means a study of nature. Okay, so epistemology of laws means understanding the nature of laws. These are the keywords. Keep them in your notebook. Now, introduction to the lesson. So the poet John Berryman, through his poem The Ball Poem, has described the reality of life which everyone has to face one day. He has touched the topic of how to stand up against the miseries and sorrows of life. So in life, everybody has got happiness and sorrow. There is positivity as well as negativity in life. Many often we are happy in positive time. We are happy when all the things are properly moving in our life. But the moment we face some difficulty in our life, we become sad. So the poet also said that we must learn to cope up the loss. One must know how to face the difficult situation. That is the theme of the poem, and the theme is loss in life and how to cope up the loss. The loss might be different for different persons. It might be loss of some persons in our life or some objects, some things. So the key points of the poem. Here in the story, we read about a little boy who had lost his ball, and the poet says that watching the boy, the poet was standing there. He said that he could buy many new balls, but he has a very, very deep emotional attachment and memories associated with the ball. So in life also we have got attachment with some things, some person, some friends, and when those people are gone from our life, there is no replacement. There is nothing which can fulfill the gap of that person. If you love a mobile or a particular laptop and somebody had gifted it to you, your mother in fact, or your father, and you have possessed it for 5 years, 10 years, and when you lose it, when it's broken or stolen, then you feel very, very sad, very bad. So here also he gives the example of a boy who had the ball, and the boy had lost the ball and he regrets over the loss of the ball. The poet is indirectly trying to tell us that we should learn how to cope up with the loss in life. Money sometimes can buy things. Money might be important, but many often money turns out to be useless. We all should learn our responsibility and learn to cope up with the loss. So that's the theme, that's the message of the poem. Now, short summary of the poem. So the whole poem here, the poet is talking about a little boy who had lost his ball. So the boy was playing with his ball, and the ball skipped from his hand and went into the nearby water body. The poet says that this sight of the boy losing his favorite ball made him think about the boy and his reaction to this situation. He further says that the boy was helplessly looking into the water where his ball had gone. He was sad, disappointed, and he was trembling with fear because he had lost his precious, valuable ball. He got so immersed in his sorrow that he kept standing near the harbor for a very long time and kept on looking for his ball. So it happens in life also. Sometimes we are dumb, we are speechless, sometimes there are no words. Sometimes some of the laws in our life they cause so much trouble to us, so much negativity to us. The poet says that he could console him that he may get new balls, or he could also give him some money to buy the new balls. But he stops himself from doing so because he thinks that the money may bring a new ball, but will not bring the memories, the precious memories or the attachment he had with that particular ball. So, yes, we can buy the new ball, new object with the money, but the attachment, the time we had spent with that particular object, it doesn't repeat, it doesn't come again. So the poet further says that the time has come now for the boy to learn his responsibility. And all of us must learn our responsibility. The poet wants to say that the boy will learn the toughest lesson of life. After losing the ball, he would learn how to protect, how to preserve our possessions. So, the lesson of accepting the harsh reality of life that one day we will lose our loved ones and our loved things is to be learned. We can learn the message the poet gives us through this simple, interesting poem that one day all of us will have to lose our attachment with our near and dear ones, our brother, our sister, our family members, our friends, whatever we like, we will have to leave all these things and will have to depart to heavenly life. Now, let us read the poem line by line and understand the meaning of the poem. So, what is the boy now who has lost his ball? What? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water. So the poet talks about the boy and he asks a question to us. He asks a question to all of us, to all the readers, those who are reading. He says, what is the boy now? What is the mental and physical condition of the boy now? The boy who has lost his ball. The boy who is undergoing toil and pain because of the loss. What? What is he to do now? What the boy is going to do now? How he is going to cope up with the loss? The poet says that he was standing near the boy and the boy was playing with the ball and the boy slipped the ball from his hand and it went to the water body which was there. The boy says that he feels sorrow, he feels regret. And here the poet also describes the mental condition of the boy, and the poet says that the boy was playing with the ball, he was very happy, and he was bouncing the ball merrily, and even the ball bounced merrily down the street, and then from the street it went into the water, and it was lying there into the water. And when it was lying there into the water, the boy also went near the water body. He was sad, he was staring down, he was watching his ball drowning, he was facing the loss of the ball with great difficulty, he was crying. So here you can see the word meaning. First word you have merrily, that means cheerful. Bouncing means jumping up and down. Poetic device which have been used in this stanza. Number one is imagery. So what is imagery? So the poetic device which refers to our senses. So imagery, we can imagine our senses are responding to certain phrases, certain words. Example, you can see when poet says merrily bouncing down the street. So when he says merrily bouncing down the street, we get a picture of the ball, that the ball was happily dancing. The ball was happily moving down the street, then to the water body. A repetition. Next poetic device which is used here, that is a repetition. It comes in the line here, you can see what, comma, what is he to do? So a repetition, another poetic device has been used here. Now let's go to the next stanza. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy, as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. So here in the next stanza, the poet says that he was watching the boy who was crying over the loss of the ball. The poet says there is no use to tell the boy that he can buy another balls. There are another balls he can buy with the money, because the boy was so much shaken by the grief of the loss of the ball. The boy didn't want to come out of the loss of the ball. And as he stand rigid, he was trembling. He was shivering. He was staring down. He was shivering. He was frustrated because he had not taken care of the ball. He was very sad, very, very negative. And he was just staring at the ball which was lying in the water body. And when he was watching, when he was staring the boy was perhaps also lost, thinking about his childhood days. His childhood which he had spent, he was pondering over it. So as the ball has been lost, same way the boy's childhood has been lost now. Now he has become adult, and now he must also be responsible for his possession. He must be responsible for his duty, for his property. I would not intrude on him. Then the poet says that he didn't want to intrude the boy. He didn't want to disturb the boy. He didn't want to tell him anything. So intrude means here to enter a situation where one is not welcome. So intrusion. He didn't want to go without invitation. And he says that a dime means a cent, currency which runs in US. It could buy him another ball, but even the dime or another ball was useless. It was worthless for the boy, because it won't be the same ball which he was possessing. The ball which he had lost, he was attached to it, but the new ball which he would buy with the money, it would be totally new for him. And he senses first responsibility. The poet also says that losing the ball, the boy has sensed his first responsibility, that he must be responsible in life. He must protect his property, his possession. So that's the meaning of second stanza. So some of the new words: grief means sorrow, Rigid means very adamant, fixed. Trembling, shaking. Harbor means the dock or port near the ocean or river. Intrude means invader. Dime, 10 cents. Worthless, valueless, useless. Literary device which has been used here, that is repetition. So repetition in the word ball. The word ball has been repeated again and again. Now let's go to the third stanza. In a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his disparate eyes the epistemology of laws, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. So, here in this poem, the poet is talking about the responsibility. He's saying that the boy or anybody who is there in the world, he must be responsible, he must take care of his possession. And there will be situations in life where people will take the balls. So ball here stand symbolically for any other valuable or precious things, precious objects. So people in life will encounter us, they would take the opportunity which would make us happy sometime will be snatched from us. The moment, the happy moment would be turned to negative, bad or sad moment. Sometime there would be fight with our competitor, with our rivals, with our friends. So any kind of loss will be there always in life, but one must know, one must learn how to cope up them. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. No one buys a ball back. So here the poet want to emphasize, he want to say that you can buy the ball or anything with money, but you cannot buy, you cannot purchase the valuable time, the precious moment which you have spent with that particular thing, particular place, or particular person. Money is external. Money is not everything. Money cannot give you all happiness, all joy. It's only a materialistic thing. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes. And the poet says that the boy is learning now. He is hopeless and he is learning to be responsible. He is learning the nature of loss. The epistemology of loss means the nature of loss. He is learning how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know. So the boy is crossing his adulthood, and now he is becoming a mature man. He is experiencing another phase of life, that's maturity. And he is going to be mature, he is going to be responsible after having lost his precious object, his precious ball. So in life also, many often we also face the situation where we have lost our near and dear ones, our precious object, and we again stood up. So the life has to go on as it is. Life never stops for anything or any person, whether however close bonding we may have with that person or object or thing, but we have to overcome it. We have to overcome the loss. We have to accept it, and we have to move ahead in life. So that's the explanation, dear students, of the poem. I hope you have understood the third stanza. Some word meaning for you. Possessions means ownership. External, here the things with which feelings are not attached. Desperate means hopeless. Epistemology, the Greek word episteme, which means knowledge. So means knowledge of laws. So here the boy was studying the nature of laws. Literary devices which have been used here, one is alliteration. So you could see the use of sound B. It was used busy a ball bag. So alliteration means the repetition of any sound or any word. So that is alliteration. Repetition means the repeating of the word again and again in a sentence. So the word ball has been repeated throughout the poetry, throughout the poem. So now we finish with this. If you have any confusion, any problem, any doubt, you can ask me again. Okay, I hope you have understood the poem very well. If you have any confusion, you can ask me again. Thank you, dear students, for listening to me with patience. Okay, now tomorrow we shall continue the next topic. Till then, goodbye, all of you.